Hi friends, when we take three aspects wealth, education, and intelligence, amongst these three, which is the most preferable one? There is a story about it. Hi friends, here is a very interesting story. Without skipping, you just listen to it till the end. Once there were three friends. One among them was very rich, whereas second was highly educated, and the third was neither rich nor educated but had enormous intelligence. Those three started arguing among themselves. The first one, who was wealthy, said, "We can achieve anything if we have wealth." The second one said, "No, friend, without education, we can't get anything." The third one interfered and said, "No, no, I don't agree with you both. Your wealth or education will be of no use if one doesn't have presence of mind." They wanted to test whose opinion is correct. At that point of time, the king announced a declaration that he wanted the most wealthy, the most highly educated, and the most intelligent youngsters to his court. His daughter would choose one among those as her life partner. In fact, the princess developed hatred towards men and did not want to get married with any. The king spoke to them confidentially to try their best to impress the princess. The first man, being rich, took a huge bungalow, had very costly items, tried his best to impress her. The princess servant maid brought that piece of information about the man to her and tried her best to impress her. She asked, "Is it a man or woman?" "Of course it is man," said the servant maid. "Don't talk anything about man. I hate men," said she angrily. Then the second man, who was highly educated on various aspects, including performing all magical tricks, settled closer by the palace and started impressing by playing magical tricks and by clearing doubts of people on various aspects on different subjects. The servant maid came running to the princess and spoke to her about the greatness of that man and how people are flocking to his house to see his magical tricks. Immediately she asked, "Is it a man or woman?" On hearing that it was the man who was impressing all, she shouted at her, "How many times I have to tell you? I hate men. I can't hear anyone talking about greatness of men." She couldn't do anything and left the place. Those two friends approached their third one and said, "Now it is time for you to prove yourself that you can win her heart with your intelligence." They further accepted that their wealth or education had least impact on Princess' mind. "Yes, it is the time to prove myself," the third one said to himself. He, being intelligent, first he wanted to know what the princess likes the most. He heard that the princess liked varieties of flowers. He also heard that she developed hatred to men. So he disguised himself as a lady and went to an old woman selling flowers. He requested her, "My dear granny, can you do me a favor?" "Yes, what can I do for you?" she asked. "I can make beautiful garlands. Can you take me to the palace and introduce me to the princess, as I am your granddaughter, very good at weaving garlands?" She agreed and took him to the palace and introduced him to the princess as her granddaughter, very good at garland making. Thus, as a woman entered the palace and impressed her by weaving beautiful garlands. Now it is time for me to know why she developed hatred to men. He thought so and asked the same. Considering him as her best girlfriend, started narrating her previous birth. Yes, you are my best friend. I will tell you everything in my previous birth what had happened. I was a deer. I was pregnant. I was going out with my husband deer. Suddenly, I was caught in the trap of a hunter. Leaving me to my fate, my husband deer escaped. He didn't even have least concern about me that I was pregnant. That was why I hate men. Again, I took rebirth as princess. Her hatred to men was clearly reflected on her face. Now it is time for him to change his disguise. By saying that he had to meet his parents, he left the place. Then the young man changed himself from a lady to a saint, took a small hut like house, and settled in a place closer to the palace. He pretended as if he were meditating. He being saint, people started approaching him to take his blessings. The king wanted to see the young saint. He went there, took his blessings, and asked, "Why, Swami, at this young age, why are you leading your life as a saint?" He said, "Yes, because I hate women." The king was shocked. He went home and called her daughter and said, "My dear princess, one saint came to our place. He hates women as you hate men. Why don't you see that saint once?" Looked at her facial expressions. She was deeply involved in her thoughts. First time, she wanted to see the man and wanted to know the reason for his hatred to women. Here some printing mistake is there. She approached him and asked directly, "Why do you hate women?" "I hate men because there was a strong reason for it." Then the saint said, "Do you know who I was in my previous birth?" "Very interesting. Come on, tell me, who were you in your previous birth?" She expressed her curiosity. "I was a deer in my previous birth. My wife was pregnant. We both went out. We saw a hunter. I told her, 'You please take care of our baby and yourself.' Without having any concern towards me, my wife left me to my fate. I was caught and became food to him. Then I had taken this rebirth as human being." He stopped for a while. No, it is not your story, it is my story. I became victim to the hunter," said the princess emotionally. "Yes, it is our story. You were my wife in our previous birth. You thought I left you. No. To protect you, I was caught by the hunter. You thought I escaped. I thought you had escaped. I think God gave us birth as human beings with some intention." He stopped for a while. The princess declared that she wanted to marry him. Thus, the third man married the princess and became son-in-law of the king by applying his presence of mind. Thus, through this story, we can understand that more than wealth, more than education, if one has presence of mind, if one has intelligence, then he can achieve success in his life. The other aspects may follow later. Let's come with some other interesting story in our next video. Till then, bye.